We are joined by Jaguars wide receiver Jamal Agnew and special teams ace, as you just heard that call from Frank Frangie. Jamal, how are you tonight? Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. So you played obviously for the Lions before joining the Jaguars last season. How would you describe the culture that Doug Pederson is building here as compared with maybe not last year, but how the Lions was before?
It's just going to be, we're building a culture of just like love and energy. I mean, since the first day I met him and then the first day we were in the building for, off-season program, it's just nothing but good energy. And, everybody is just juiced to be in the building and see each other, to work with each other. Obviously, we got a lot of new faces, a lot of new coaches, and, even just like throughout the coaching staff, it's just the same energy. It's all consistent throughout, and, that's something we needed in this organization right now, and that's something, as players, from our perspective, we're super excited about.
Now, Jamal, I want to talk a little bit about the season because this time last year, maybe a little bit before, when the Jags signed you, we talked to Tori Petrie, who covered you in Detroit, and she had nothing but good things to say about you. But one of the things that stood out was she said, when you see green, there's no stopping Agnew. He's gone. And obviously we saw that this last season. So I want to hear what goes through your mind when you're waiting for that return. Are you just like end zone or bust mentality, or what are you thinking in that moment?
First of all, I want to shout out to Tori for the kind words. Tori's great. She's really great at what she does, and I think she actually left the Lions. So I'm wishing nothing but the best for her, whatever she's doing. But for me, obviously I always want to score when I touch the ball, but really it's all about putting the team in the best position to be successful. First of all. Speaking on terms of just like punt return, the most important thing is ball security, just getting the ball back to, Trevor, getting the ball back to the offense, first and foremost. But really the goal starts with just getting the first down for the offense, just making it that much easier for us to drive down the field, just to add an extra first down, just makes drives a little bit easier, and obviously gains a little bit of momentum if it's, I'll do something pretty cool. So, get the fans in it, get the juices flowing and everything. And that's kind of what I like to do is just create energy plays. Just get the juices flowing out there. They used to call me the spark man in Detroit a little bit. I used to spark stuff off a little bit sometimes with a nice little return here and there.
Hey, Jamal, it's Mia O'Brien. I know I've spoken to you about this. You say you're feeling healthy. I know I hung out with you at the quarterback camp a few weeks ago. You didn't have a brace on. You guys do start voluntary mini camp today. You guys started the offseason program a few weeks ago. Tell us how it felt to be back out on the field and what you saw out there today.
Man, it's just good to be back. First of all, just to be back in the stadium. I mean, obviously we're in the stadium. We got the renovations going on for the new facility and everything. But just to be back in the bank, obviously we're there every day for work, but on the field, it's just like a different type of energy. So, I wasn't out there with the guys practicing, but, the guys were lit. I mean, they were flying around, making plays. I mean, juicing each other up. I mean, it was just good to see. It made me want to go out there, put some cleats on and get right with them. But I mean, in due time, but I can just see the energy is just a lot different this year with, the coaching staff, the players, obviously, and then even just like, everybody else involved with the team. It's just different.
So what's kind of the timetable for you right now as you're working your way back from that injury?
I mean, we really just progressing. Really no timetable. Obviously shooting to be ready for the season and most likely will be ready for the season, but it's really no timetable. I mean, it's just hip injuries are pretty tricky sometimes. Really just you got to get a feel for what it's looking like, but it's looking real good for me right now. Obviously, I spoke to you at the quarterback camp, and everything's right on track. If not, I'm way ahead where I'm supposed to be. So I'm looking forward to getting out there. They got to hold me back sometimes because I want to go throw some cleats on and start running routes already. But I'm just ready to get back. Obviously, got to be patient with it, but it's looking real good.
Well, Jamal, it is draft week. Do you have any thoughts on who the Jags should be picking at number 1?
Man, I have no idea, to be honest. Obviously, the draft is a crapshoot sometimes when you're not the one making those decisions. So I just know whoever gets picked with that first pick, it's, obviously their life's going to change a lot. I mean, when I got drafted, that changed my life, for the better. And it's honestly such a great feeling just hearing your name called on that TV, or if you're at the draft, it's going to be the first overall pick. So, but just to hear your name called, it's just like literally a dream come true. And there's literally no feeling that can explain it. So I'm obviously going to be happy for whoever goes in that first pick.
Jamal Agnew, Jaguars wide receiver and special teams ace, joining us tonight live here at Mr. Chubby's on the Farrah and Farrah phone line. So, Jamal, when it comes to the rehab process, we talked to James Robinson a few weeks ago, and he said he was very lonely until you got injured and got in there. How did you guys help each other?
I mean, we just kind of motivate each other. I mean, that's what it's like. I mean, the obviously rehabbing physically is tough for anybody, but really, mentally, injuries are really draining to you because you obviously don't want to get hurt, and it comes with the sport. So, but you want to be out there with your brothers going to war, especially a long season like last year. We weren't playing very well, but I mean, you want to go out there and you want to fight for your brothers. You want to win games and everything. So, just having somebody else that's going through the same thing with you, seeing each other in the training room all the day, every day, kind of pushing each other, seeing, hey, where are you at in your rehab, when do you think you're going to be running, stuff like that. It's just good to see somebody else going through what you're going through because, like you said, James said, it gets lonely in there when it's just you and the physical therapist. But just seeing somebody else in your position definitely helps the mental a little bit.
Well, Jamal, kind of piggybacking off of the draft question that was asked a little bit ago, you were drafted by Detroit in 2017 in the fifth round. So my question for you, though, is the Jags now have the first overall pick for the second year straight. And for teams that may have a history of struggling, what is a player's mindset when you are drafted by one of those teams that kind of have that rough history, as Detroit did? They have they have a longer history than the Jaguars, but there is that struggle kind of around that organization. What was your mindset when you got drafted going to them?
I mean, you want to be a part of something, historical. Like, you want to be a part of, we were talking a lot about it, flipping the script this year. And, when you get drafted to a team who historically has been struggling, like, you want to be a part of, like, that history. Like, for me, in Detroit, it was like Detroit has never won a Super Bowl, yada, 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 hadn't won a playoff game in whatever years. And, like, when I got drafted, I was like, I want to be a part of them, making the playoffs, winning the playoff game, winning the Super Bowl. Like, that would be crazy. I mean, just for example, like the Cubs winning the World Series like a couple years or 4, 5, 6 years ago. Like, just to be a part of something like that. Like, I'm sure if you got drafted to the Cubs, like, you were probably like, yeah, they haven't won a World Series in forever. But, you finally win a World Series and you're like, wow, I'm literally a part of history right now. But, I mean, that's the same mentality for, the first overall pick who's, going to get picked this year is, we trying to flip this script and then you can be literally a part of history. The Jaguars have never won a Super Bowl. I mean, obviously it's a newer franchise, but, I mean, to be a part of something, like the first time of something, like, I feel like there's no better feeling than that.
You made that comment, Jamal, to the right person because Taylor Dahl is the biggest Chicago Cubs fan in the city of Jacksonville. Wow. So that was perfect. I saw her smiling next to me. Hey, real quick, as we're wrapping up with wide receiver Jamal Agnew. Jamal, give us a little insight into Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, some of the newer members of this Jaguars wide receiver room.
They've been some very like perfect pieces to add to the receiver room. Christian's like a real reserved, kind of quiet guy. but he's just a dog. Like, he works, and he's obviously super good. And then Zay, obviously super good too. But Zay is just like the opposite, like not loud, but he's got that energy 24/7. He's always gonna like hype you up, like he's gonna be your biggest hype man, but he's also gonna work his ass off or butt off. Sorry about that, but so they've been some great additions.
We say that word sometimes. It's all right. You're good.
My bad, but they've been some great additions, and we're following their lead along with Marvin. Marvin's the old head in the room, and Marvin's always got the energy. He likes to salsa dance and stuff like that. So, we're following their lead. We got a lot of young guys in the room currently. So, Kirk and Zay have been great additions to the room, and like I said, they're kind of like yin and yang. They kind of balance each other out. But I can't wait to get to work with them when I'm actually out there, running around with them.
Jamal, what are your expectations this season as an individual?
Me, I'm just focused on getting healthy and getting back on the field, really. Obviously, I want to pick up where I left off last year. I felt like I was, starting to come in my own on the offensive end side of the ball. Obviously, I haven't been playing offense very long. And, they always say, it's that third year where, receivers, they kind of turn it on in the NFL. And that's even when they've been playing the position their whole life. And just me playing it for only 2 years, I feel like I'm starting to come into my own and just kind of learning, the different intricacies, like, about the position and everything. So I just want to pick up where I left off last year and, just continue to grow and continue to learn. I got some very good coaches that we got in this year that I can learn from, Press, Coach Peterson, TJ, receiver coach. And, I'm just excited to get back out there and continue to grow and continue to learn.
Well, we appreciate you joining us here on Helmets and Heels, Jamal. And I know we wanted to get you out here to Mr. Chubby's out in Ponte Vedra. Word on the street is they didn't let you guys leave, though, until 5:45. So that's a little bit of a late time at the stadium for you guys. But I know we've seen you at JU games. You've been out at the camps. What have you loved the most about being in Duval County the last year plus?
I'm from San Diego, California, so I feel like Duval County is a lot like San Diego. Obviously, a little bit warmer out here, but I get the same vibes, that Southern hospitality. It's not as Southern hospital in San Diego. It's Southern California, so it comes with the territory. But I love the food out here. Obviously, love the water. I ride my bike on the beach all the time. Just the people out here are so nice. I always having random conversations with people at restaurants and everything, and it's just nothing but nice people out here, and I love it. I love it out here.
We are certainly glad to hear that people have been hospitable towards you. We do take that Southern hospitality seriously. Jamal, can you leave us with a Duval, please, sir?
Duval.
There it is.
Excellent work. I appreciate that you took a full breath.
I know. We got all the air in.
That was awesome. Jamal, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Appreciate y'all for having me. I had fun. Y'all for having me. I had fun. Y'all for having me.